everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a video that's been highly requested by a YouTube friend. Now, my YouTube friend's name is Connor from Connortropolis. I watched his video on the same subject and I said to him in the comments after he uploaded it, well, it's interesting, and I talked about what my obsessions are, basically. And he said, well, why don't you do a video on it yourself? Because I would like to see it in an autistic woman's point of view or perspective. So I thought, why not? I'll give it a try. I'll leave his video link and his channel in the description box below. And if you can, make sure you subscribe to him. He posts a lot of videos every single week focusing on autism. I know I've said the word obsessions before, but this is a very important key word for this video because I am going to concentrate on autistic obsessions and special interests. This one is a bit of an interesting subject to film because there are so many beliefs that people tend to think that autistic people only have one special interest or one obsession, which they'll never, ever be bored of, and they'll stick with them forever. But that's not the case. An autistic person can change a special interest or an obsession when they get bored of it. And it's just like any other person that you'll come across. So let me tell you all the obsessions I've had from the past up until today. My first one that my family and I agree that my very first biggest obsession that I've had when I was younger was Postman Pat. I used to love that TV show so much when I was a kid, and I used to watch the videos all the time. I can remember my mum said to me, if Postman Pat wasn't on, I would scream down the whole house. And and that's no lie, that did happen. It did happen. However, there was one thing that I could not live without, and I would have done the same thing, but I'm still not talking about the videos. I'm talking about some toys. I used to have a little Postman Pat head that I used to place on top of my finger, and I think that came from a bubble bath I used to have. And the last thing that I couldn't live without was Jess the cat. And speaking of cats, here is my next obsession and interest, which I had as a child, but it's still continued now into adulthood, and that is cats. I am cat crazy. I used to collect cat toys, and my parents and I had domestic cats. We ended up having 5 cats, which was a big mistake because they used to fight each other, and it was really annoying. Thomas the Tank Engine. I used to line the trains up when I was younger because with the trains and the numbers, because Thomas the Tank Engine's friends had different numbers on them. It was like my way I could count when I was a kid. I don't remember most of it, but I can imagine that it did happen. And then I used to use my imagination and play the train set as well, because I had the little Tony train sets with the magnetic trains, with the carriages and the wooden rails and the bridge. Oh, it was a blast. I loved it to pieces. Simon Sam, which was another obsession. Tots TV, Rosie and Jim. I loved them both so much. And then the last obsession, which it's not really well known, but I'll tell you about it because I think there's some people who know it, but then loads of people don't. There was a children's television programme called Spider, and it was about this cartoon spider who used to hang out with a boy, and they used to travel into different places and sing different songs. Another thing I remember being obsessed with was what was the guinea pigs. There was a TV show about 3 guinea pigs who used to drive in little vehicles, and there was a narrator who used to sketch things. I can't remember the name of it. I need to look it up, but if I know about it, and I know it's there somewhere, but if I do find it, I'll probably put it down somewhere. And then moving from baby and toddler stage to childhood and adult stage, I have begun to develop more obsessions and special interests. And these are the ones I'm going to be telling you now. Barbie, Bratz, Polly Pocket, Disney, especially the Disney films and the Disney princesses. I love them so much. Tarzan, Tintin, the Disney Sansa, those little action things. Lady and the Tramp, who I've mentioned in my last video. The Disney princesses, Anna, Elsa, Snow White, Cinderella, and of course, Pinocchio and Figaro. Now, I've got a lot more of these somewhere around, but I don't want to show them too much because I'm going to talk about the video and I don't want to make it too long. YouTube, creative writing, notebooks, including this one, which I write ideas for my YouTube videos constantly. But that's the funny thing though, because I have so many books that have either been half written or fully written or not written at all, and I just left them in the cupboard. And I think I've got about 120 of them lying around somewhere in my room. I know, that's how bad it is, and I need to stop doing it. The reason why I do this is because I buy most of my books from the works and you get a wonderful discount on them. And I cannot resist a good bargain. My mobile phone, because I cannot go anywhere without my mobile phone, especially with my epilepsy smartwatch, and if I want to tweet something on Twitter, catch up on the latest YouTube stuff, you know what I mean. And history. You and me got a lot of old history. Bit of One Direction, and it went horribly wrong. And that's the biggest obsession I've had ever since I was about 9. I cannot resist about learning new different historical dates, time periods and people. I love learning new things every day, and one day I would love to write a book, a historical fiction book about a person like Philippa Gregory does. Oh, I forgot to tell you one last obsession that I love, and that is the performing arts and musical theatre. I'm really obsessed with musical theatre songs and shows, and that could last from weeks to months to years. There's so many favourites I have in my head right now, but I can't remember most of them. And there we go, that was my obsessions and special interests video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and a big massive thank you to Connor for supporting me throughout this whole process and for suggesting the idea to me as well. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for more future videos, and I'll catch you very soon. Goodbye, Star Law Forms!